One question. If we win, just how much do we get?
One very special detail on set could have helped the Squid Game players survive. From giant dolls to mind-bending stairs inspired by a piece of art, the team behind Squid Game went all out with their sets. While CGI is used to create or complete certain images, many of the sets and backdrops seen in Squid Game were fabricated just for the show. This is extra impressive because some of the real sets look like they could be created by computers with just how mesmerizing and exciting they look, especially when the backdrops appear to be outdoor locations. Tug of War might seem like a simple enough game to film, but the team behind the Netflix hit opted to build a large space and the raised platforms used in the game from scratch. The space created managed to be the perfect base for the actors to perform on, and to add CGI effects afterwards to make the space seem as daunting as it feels for the actors. Every inch had to be precisely built to ensure the safety of the performers while doing such physical work.
되게 황홀했어요. 그 공간 안에 들어간 순간.
The dorms the players stay in during Squid Game may be the dullest colored set, but it's certainly not the least impressive. The gray walls and metal bunk beds aren't so inviting or comforting, but they definitely set the scene and make an impact. The size of the space was so vast that for the performers, it could feel like they were in a coliseum. The dorm space is where so much happens. A major fight, learning the truth of the game, watching the money add up, and the prison-like aesthetic provided the ideal backdrop for these pivotal moments.
If you do not wish to participate, then please let us know at this time.
Not a single detail was overlooked when the art department and creative team worked to bring all the spaces we see in Squid Game to the screen. One very small but meaningful detail, one that even could have helped the players out a bit, was hiding in plain sight on the walls.
사실 기대와 상상을 하는 것 이상으로 충격적인 비주얼들이 펼쳐지더라고요.
We don't see them in the first part of the series, but as players lose and there isn't a need for so many beds, we slowly see the images revealed. All the illustrations on the walls depict each of the games played throughout the series. The fact that the bunk beds were in tall stacks was no coincidence either. The art director thought them up to convey themes of abandonment and carrying emotional baggage. They were actually made out of the same material as tunnels. The colorful and unsettling sets of staircases we see in Squid Game were actually inspired by a famous piece of art called Relativity. The original image came from the mind of a Dutch artist named MC Escher. The Squid Game creative team felt the mind-bending picture would be the perfect addition to the series, and they weren't wrong. The original photo includes 7 stairways arranged in a world where gravity is different, and considering Squid Game really turns every player's life upside down whether they want it to or not, the homage paid to this classic piece of art makes a lot of sense and just adds to the genius of the show.
Whoa, this place is gigantic.
A part of what makes these sets so incredible is the sheer scale of them. The space of the children's playground for the Honeycomb game featured real, enormous versions of playground equipment, with a fake drawn sky background making the whole scene look like an image we'd see in a children's book. It did an incredible job at bringing us a freaky playground vibe. The large-scale equipment also helped with making the players feel like children, replicating what the environment would have looked like to them when they were young. The team definitely accomplished the formidable but also familiar and reminiscent of childhood look that director Hwang was hoping to achieve.
So our options are circle, triangle, star, umbrella.
We can't discuss the incredible sets without mentioning one very impactful prop. If that's what we call a creepy giant doll that had the power to take any player out that it saw moving. The red light, green light doll is a major part of the scene for the initial game and shockingly wasn't created just for the show. Yes, this terrifying giant mugunghwa doll actually existed before and was displayed for the public to see at a museum adventure village in South Korea. The doll is back in its original home since the production wrapped, so people can see this amazing piece of the Squid Game story in person. It seems like the games were tough for the doll as well, since it now is inexplicably missing one of its hands. Some cast members were actually speechless when they were on set for the first time, thrilled by the fact that they'd get to interact and perform in these incredible spaces. The actor who plays number 1 had a really intense nostalgic reaction when he was on set where the marbles game takes place.
구슬치기도 저도 했어요. 어렸을 때